Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we will discuss about wastewater characteristics, disposal and discharge of wastewater. The objectives of these modules are first to study the different characteristics like physical, chemical and biological parameters of wastewater. And second point is to study the standards given by Central Pollution Control Board of India to regulate the discharge of wastewater. So let's start with brief introduction. Water is used for various purposes in domestic, commercial and industrial applications, resulting in change in the quality of the water. This water which has been affected by use and produced as a byproduct of such activities is termed as wastewater. The wastewater based on its characteristics can be disposed either directly or after treatment. Wastewater contains impurities in it. These impurities can be physical, chemical, biological or their combination. Wastewater can be categorized into two categories. First is municipal wastewater and second is industrial wastewater. Wastewater from human dwellings is commonly termed as sewage, which contains domestic wastewater or municipal wastewater, whereas wastewater from industrial units is termed as effluent. The sources of wastewater generations are diverse. The physical, chemical and biological impurities found in wastewater also vary accordingly, as industries are highly diverse in their type and processes, thus producing waste of highly different characteristics. The industrial wastewater include pollutants like remains of raw materials, impurities in raw materials, intermediates, chemicals, processed byproducts, oils, and final products. So, industrial wastewaters cannot be treated easily by the normal method of treating domestic wastewater, and specially designed methods or sequence of methods is necessary. In contrast, the variation in impurities in municipal wastewater is less as compared to that in industrial wastewater. First of all, we will discuss about the physical characteristics of wastewater. The physical characteristics can be felt by our senses. The main physical characteristics of wastewater include turbidity, color, odor, and temperature. First is turbidity. The wastewater contains insoluble or suspended solids. First is turbidity. The wastewater contains insoluble or suspended solids and the soluble compounds dissolved in water. The suspended or dissolved solids are responsible for turbidity of water. On average, 50% of the solids in an average wastewater are suspended. Now second is color. Color of wastewater is used to assess the general wastewater condition of the in wastewater. Now second is color. Color of wastewater is used to assess the general water condition of the in wastewater. Color could be due to presence of various colored compounds, dyes, oils, etc., or due to decomposing going on in wastewater. Fresh wastewater is generally light brown in color, but after few hours of decomposition, the color changes to light or medium gray, while the dark gray or black color is indication of extensive bacterial decomposition under anaerobic conditions. Hydrogen sulfide produced under anaerobic condition react with metals present in wastewater and give dark colored sulfides. Next is odor. Foul smell is always offensive to people and disturbs them from distance. Qualitative as well as quantitative physical quality of wastewater and depends on concentration and types of volatile compounds and gases released by wastewater. The various compounds and gases responsible for odor in wastewater include sulfur compounds, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, amines, phenolic compounds, mercaptans, acroleins and fermentation products. Next is temperature. Temperature varies from season to season, from one geographical region to another, and from industry to industry. It is the extra heat carried by the wastewater from the industrial process. Heat is released as wastewater by industries involving heating and cooling processes. Next is radioactivity. Radioactive contamination is due to presence of radioactive substances in wastewater. The radioactive material decays spontaneous and emit harmful ionizing radiations. The radioactive contamination occurs due to accidental release of coolants containing radioactive waste, improper handling of such material, or disposing of the waste in unscientific manner. Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster is recent example of release of radioactive waste in water. Now we will discuss about chemical characteristics. Chemical characteristics are divided into two categories. First is inorganic impurities and second is organic impurities. In inorganic impurities, these are the impurities, those substances that do not contain carbon and are not derived from living things. In organic impurities, these are those substances that contain carbon and are derived from something that was once living. Now we will discuss inorganic impurities in detail. Inorganic impurities are those substances that do not contain carbon and are not derived from living things. These include minerals, inorganic salts, inorganic acids, alkalis, free chlorine, ammonia and metals. The inorganic impurities also includes anions such as phosphates, sulfates, chlorides, nitrites, nitrates, cyanides, and cations such as calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, iron, manganese, lead, mercury, etc. They cause eutrophication of water bodies, increases dissolved solid content, and can also be harmful to aquatic life. They also lead to the contamination of the surface and groundwater through runoff and percolation. Next are acids and alkalis. These generally affect the aquatic life of receiving water body. They also cause serious problem in operation of treatment units. Next are toxic substances. These include cyanides, sulfides, acetylene, phenols, ammonia, etc., due to which flora and fauna of receiving waters is greatly affected. This may cause problems in the biological treatments of the wastewater. Now, here are different source industries and their main heavy metals as well as trace and other components given in showing table, like arsenic heavy metal basically present in effluent of mining, byproducts, pesticides, chemical industries, medicines and glass industries. Now we will discuss about organic impurities. Organic impurities are those substances that contain carbon and are derived from materials once living. They have high molecular weight. These deplete dissolved oxygen of stream and impose great load on secondary treatment unit. They include carbohydrates, oils, fats, proteins, surfactants, pesticides, phenols, organic acids, grease and several other organic compounds, etc. When the population of aerobic bacteria grows, they utilize more oxygen than is available in the river for degradation of organic matter. Now in oxygen depleted environment, anaerobic bacteria start growing. They use oxygen bound to other inorganic pollutants like sulfates to degrade the organic matter and release other pollutants like hydrogen sulfide, organic acids, methane and other nutrients. So one kind of pollutant are converted partially to the other kind. Now we will discuss about pesticide. Pesticides is composite term that includes all chemicals that are used to kill or control pests. These includes herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, nematicides and rodenticides. In oils, they hinder self-purification as they remain floating on the surface and cause problem in oxygen diffusion. Some of the organic species are persistent organic compounds and do not degrade or degrade very slowly. These includes PCB, DDT, dioxins, etc. Some of these POPs can be carried for many miles when they evaporate from water or land surfaces into the air or when they absorb to airborne particles. Here is table which depicts the various types of organic chemicals and their sources in wastewater. Here we can find that chlorinated organics are byproducts of pesticide and fungicide industries. Vinyl chloride is byproduct of plastic and organic synthesis processes. Now we will discuss about biological characteristics. Wastewater also contains various types of biological organisms. These organisms are mainly microbial in nature. These organisms are both useful as well as harmful. They are useful as they take part in the biological treatment of the wastewater, elimination of pathogens, but harmful as well as they cause disease and eutrophication of water bodies. The microorganisms of concern in wastewater treatment are bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, viruses and pathogenic microorganisms group. So first of all, we discuss about bacteria. They are the most abundant in term of quantity and variety in the wastewater and are able to utilize the organic matter and minerals in the wastewater for growth. Some important bacteria like Pseudomonas which reduce nitrate to nitrite. So it is very important in biological nitrate removal in treatment work. Zooglea helps through its saline production in the formation of flocks in the aeration tank. Now we will discuss about fungi. Importance in decomposing organic matter to simple form is the main function of fungi. Algae cause eutrophication phenomena, cause taste and problems when decayed, useful in oxidation ponds, blue-green class of algae fix nitrogen. Now protozoa, which feeds on bacteria, so they help in the purification of treated wastewater. However, some of them are pathogenic. In viruses, these are the major hazard to public health. Some viruses can live as long as 41 days in water and wastewater. They are responsible for disease. The wastewater generated from the various sources as a byproduct has to be discharged from the site by certain method. The wastewater is as per regulation is to be treated before discharge. The wastewater treatment is done to the extent that the treated water characteristics should meet the certain standards. These standards which regulate the quality of the water that can be discharged into various sources are the discharge standards. The three methods of the wastewater treatment is done to the extent that the treated water characteristics should meet the certain standards. These standards which regulate the quality of the water that can be discharged into various sources are the discharge standards. The three methods of waste disposal after treatment are generally employed. First is discharge into surface water, second discharge onto land, and third discharge into the subsurface. Central Government of India in its environmental rules 1986 has made rules in respect of standards for discharge of wastewater in 4 different areas. These areas are inland surface water like river, lakes, streams, pools and springs, public sewers like sewerage system, land for irrigation like drains and canals, and lastly marine coastal areas like area near the sea and ocean. Discharge and generation standards for discharge of environmental pollutants in effluent are given in table. Limit of suspended solids for discharge and generation standards for discharge of environmental pollutants in effluents are given in table. Limit of suspended solids for inland surface water is 100 mg per liter. For public sewer it is 600 mg per liter. For land for irrigation it is 200 mg per liter, and the values of pH is same for all type of disposal site, which is 5.5 to 9 m. Values of pH is same for all type of disposal site, which is 5.5 to 9. Levels of oil and grease is same for inland surface water and land for irrigation, which is 10 mg per liter, whereas for public sewer and marine coastal areas it is 20 mg per liter. Total residual chlorine for inland water surface. Total residual chlorine for inland surface water and marine coastal area is 1 mg per liter, and there are no specific standard for public sewers and land for irrigation. Biological oxygen demand for inland surface water is 30 mg per liter. For public sewer it is 350 mg per liter, whereas for irrigation land and marine coastal area it is 100 mg per liter. Chemical oxygen demand is 250 mg per liter for inland surface water and marine coastal area, whereas for public sewers and land for irrigation is no standard setup. Here it clearly showed that more the toxic substance is present, the concentration of substance is very low. Like for mercury, it is 0.01 mg per liter. For lead, it is 0.1 mg per liter. For cadmium, it is 2 mg per liter for inland surface water. Central Government of India in its Environmental Rules 1986 has made rules for the purpose of management, planning and regulation. The wastewater generation standards have also been set for the various type of industries in the manufacturing sector. These standards assist in the planning of treatment plants and in the estimation and planning of water requirement of the different industries. The wastewater generation standards for the various industries are presented in table. In integrated iron and steel, the emission of wastewater is 16 cubic metric per ton of the finished steel. For sugar, it is 0. In integrated iron and steel, the emission of wastewater is 16 cubic meter per ton of finished steel. For sugar, it is 0.4 cubic meter per ton of cane crushed. In paper and pulp industries, the total wastewater emission of all processes are 1025 cubic meter per ton of product produced. In fermentation industries, the emission of maltry is 3.5 cubic meter per ton of grain produced, and for brewery and distillery total emission is 12.25 cubic meter per kiloliter. For membrane cell process for caustic soda industries, emission is 1 meter cube per ton of caustic soda production, and in mercury cell process it is 4 meter cube per ton of caustic soda production. Wastewater emission for textile industry is 16 meter cube per ton of fiber. In man-made fiber for nylon and polyester, wastewater emission is 120 cubic meter per ton of fiber products, and for Wixon rayon it is 150 cubic meter per ton of product. For tanneries, it is 28 cubic meter per ton of raw hide. For dairy industries, it is 3 cubic meter of milk production. Wastewater generated from domestic use has organic matter as the major impurity and much more uniform in its composition than the industrial wastewater. Type of wastewater from household and their sources are described below. Grey water is a type of water which is consist of washing water from the kitchen, bathroom and laundries without feces and urine. Black water is composed of feces and urine with flush water. Yellow water consists of separate toilets and urinals. Brown water is a type of black water in absence of urine or yellow water. To conclude this module, now summarize what we have learned. First of all, we learned different characteristics of wastewater like physical, chemical and biological, and learn about their impact and causes. In second, we learned about different standards which is set up by Central Pollution Control Board of India for disposal of wastewater, among which we study the municipal sewage waste water and industrial waste water, which are classified on the basis of components present in wastewater. Thank you.